Thank you for joining a special edition of the Never Ending Climb for a Stronger Supply Chain and Procurement. Today, we're going to get into agents and what's real and what's hype. How do you build the trust? Because right now, there is great expectations. Those expectations are so high that some folks, they need to meditate because the CEO is up there telling you that you'd better be running an entire legion of 50 agents that are all run by 5 people, but if you're not careful, you're going to end up with these guys. Because we all know that there's all these pilots and all of these prototypes and all of these amazing demos that look fantastic, but 95% of them seem to fail to scale. Well, let's get into part of why. Now, one of the first ingredients in why these are not working out is that there's a fundamental lack of understanding of the difference between probabilistic. Now, I want you to look closely at this video because it is close but just not right, and probably could pass unless you look really, really quickly, because the way these probabilistic models build and generate things, the GPTs, the chat GPTs, the cloud, they use probably the next word. Now, let's put this in contrast to deterministic logic. This is our traditional classical logic where you go through a process and you go through if this, then that, and then the other thing. This is super, super reliable. Now, what this means is if you think about Six Sigma, you think about trust. In the enterprise, for this to scale, you need to get to 99.9% reliability at a minimum. Otherwise, it's not trusted, it's not reliable, and it's a great pilot that makes a great demo. But the thing with agents is every time an agent runs and thinks again, it typically starts to reduce the success rate that you get out of that. And as you get down from 6 Sigma to 5 Sigma, 99.9%, you go from trusted to unhappy. Now here's a series of experts that are out here reminding us why deterministic logic is so important. Because AI must be placed into a box that is carefully controlled, carefully regulated, governed, put on rails, guardrails, etc. But all of these other workflows that we are working through, these must be controlled. These cannot be let loose in the enterprise. This is why they fail to scale. So we need to evaluate the risk. If it is high risk, it needs to be more deterministic. We need clear confidence thresholds. This means that how confident are you and how confident is the agent? Because this needs to grow. And if you are not very highly confident in a consistent outcome, it's not ready. This means that you need detailed observability. You're going to hear this term where it means all of the steps that go through and making sure you know what happened. Then you need thorough testing. This is how you develop and iterate through the confidence ratio. This means that for us to be successful, you cannot throw an agent at it. You need to have this hybrid of the deterministic logic and the AI and the probabilistic agent. Fundamentally, this is where Rio comes in because we've built Rio to be that digital employee, which means that we're bringing the best of the deterministic and the probabilistic to create that trust. Now, analysts think that we're the future of procurement, and we've been on stage talking about how we are replacing the big ERP source to pay suite, being that front door and bringing that next generation of procurement. And if you run the SAP ERP system, or if you have Ariba too, then we are an organization that has an unfair advantage for that because we work inside SAP. We install inside the SAP ERP. So when it's ready to go inside the SAP system, it means that we honor all of the data structures. It's square peg, square hole, not the other way around. So the sky's the limit, guys. I can't wait to talk to more of you about how this and more can help transform your procurement, your supply chain to build the strongest supply chain you could imagine. Thank you very much for your time today.